Microsoft SharePoint attack, what you need to know. Imagine a scenario where a critical piece of software used by countless businesses and government agencies around the world suddenly becomes a major security risk. That's exactly what happened when Microsoft issued a warning about active attacks targeting its SharePoint collaboration software. This isn't just any software, it's a cornerstone of many organizations' digital infrastructure, and the implications of this breach are significant. On October 25, 2024, Microsoft stores like the one in New York City were buzzing with activity, but behind the scenes, a cyber threat was looming. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, released an alert on Sunday, highlighting that the vulnerability in SharePoint allowed unauthorized access to systems and full access to its content. Essentially, malicious actors could execute code remotely, posing a severe risk to any organization using the software. Microsoft quickly responded, releasing patches for 2 versions of SharePoint software on Sunday evening. One of these patches was specifically for SharePoint Server 2016, an older version used in on-premises data centers. While the exact extent of the damage remains under investigation, the potential impact is alarming. According to Palo Alto Networks, the exploit had likely affected thousands of organizations globally. Their researchers emphasized that these were not theoretical threats but actual, in-the-wild attacks that posed a serious danger to data security. Microsoft maintained a tight lip beyond their official blog post, leaving many details to speculation. However, they did clarify that the vulnerability was specific to on-premises SharePoint servers and did not affect cloud-based versions like Microsoft 365. This distinction is crucial, as many organizations are increasingly moving their data to the cloud for better security and accessibility. What makes this vulnerability particularly concerning is its persistence. Even after applying the patches, hackers can still impersonate legitimate users or services within the SharePoint environment. iSecurity, a European cybersecurity firm, first identified this flaw and highlighted its potential to lead to data theft, password harvesting, and the installation of backdoors for future attacks. The interconnected nature of SharePoint with other Microsoft services such as Outlook and Teams means that a breach could rapidly escalate, compromising sensitive information across multiple platforms. Michael Sikorsky, CTO and head of threat intelligence for Palo Alto's Unit 42, summed it up succinctly: once inside, attackers are stealing data, setting up backdoors, and obtaining cryptographic keys. They're not just probing, they're establishing a foothold. Interestingly, the day after the SharePoint warning, Alaska Airlines experienced a brief IT outage that caused a 3-hour ground stop. While there's no direct link between the two incidents, the timing raises questions about potential underlying causes. Was this IT outage related to the SharePoint vulnerability, or was it an unrelated issue? This situation underscores the importance of staying vigilant and proactive in cybersecurity. As organizations continue to rely heavily on software like SharePoint, understanding and mitigating vulnerabilities becomes increasingly critical. But here's where it gets controversial: how much responsibility lies with software providers versus the organizations using the software? Should Microsoft have done more to prevent this vulnerability, or is it the responsibility of users to apply patches promptly? Your thoughts matter here. What do you think? Are we doing enough to protect our data in an increasingly connected world? Share your opinions in the comments below. Microsoft SharePoint vulnerability sparks global cyberattacks. Global security crisis: Microsoft's popular server software falls victim to devastating cyber breach. In an alarming development that has cybersecurity experts on high alert, malicious actors have successfully leveraged a critical vulnerability in Microsoft Corporation's widely used SharePoint platform to infiltrate sensitive systems worldwide. According to cybersecurity researchers and government officials, this sophisticated attack has compromised numerous high-value targets, including government agencies, major corporations, and various organizations across the globe, resulting in the theft of confidential information. SharePoint, for those unfamiliar with the software, serves as a collaborative platform that businesses and organizations use to store, organize, and share documents securely, or at least, that was the intention. But here's where it gets concerning: this breach exploited a fundamental flaw in the system's security architecture, allowing attackers to gain unauthorized access to file systems and execute potentially damaging code. In response to this widespread threat, Microsoft released an emergency patch over the weekend designed to address the vulnerability in SharePoint document management servers. However, the tech giant acknowledged that they continue working diligently to develop and deploy additional fixes following warnings from cybersecurity agencies that hackers were actively targeting SharePoint installations and exploiting the security gap. For organizations using SharePoint, this situation highlights the critical importance of prompt security updates and comprehensive cybersecurity protocols. Even temporary delays in implementing patches can leave systems exposed to increasingly sophisticated cyber threats that evolve faster than ever before. And this is the part most people miss. Even after patches are applied, organizations must verify whether their systems were already compromised during the vulnerability window, as attackers often establish persistent access methods that remain even after security updates. Does this incident represent a failure of Microsoft's security testing processes? Or is it simply the inevitable reality of our increasingly complex digital ecosystem? Should companies be held more accountable for security flaws in their products, or should we accept that perfect security is unattainable? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe the responsibility lies primarily with software vendors like Microsoft, or with organizations that implement these systems?